Hello and what's up everybody? My name's Justin and we today have this hyper tough 8-pound wedge from Walmart. I got it on clearance. I think it was 20 bucks. Today we're going to be sharpening this thing. As you can see, hopefully the camera will focus. This is a nice chunky boy here. That is a fat edge. I don't know if you could tell, you probably can. I've already started to file this down just because I wanted to make sure that I even wanted to do it before I busted out the grinder. I think we could do it with just a metal file. So, speaking of, what are we using today? We have a Nicholson 10-inch metal file. Nothing crazy. We have a little brush. Should have got something better, bigger, I suggest, to swipe out all these dust shavings here. But that's fine, we'll work with it. If things get a little too crazy, or if I want to try and maybe get a little more off at some point, I have this old Harbor Freight professional central pneumatic little cookie grinder. We might bust that out at some point, but I think right now the metal file is doing just fine. We're going to keep up with that. We're getting a nice little ridge going here. It's not going to be fast. It's going to take some elbow grease. We're going to get it done. All right, everybody. Had to take care of some life stuff. And now we're moving on to the other side anyway. I also realized for that first whole half, and I know better, I didn't hook up a lav mic. So, as you can imagine, just about all you can hear is nothing but metal scraping, which is fine. I haven't decided what type of format I'm looking for here with this with these type of videos. Wouldn't mind talking to you guys, sharing my thoughts a little bit. Nice slow work, plenty of time for thought. And I've always been a think out loud kind of guy, or a talk to yourself kind of guy, I guess, depending on who you ask. I like to think of it as thinking out loud. Seem a little less crazy that way, I guess. We're just working that edge back there. We're just gonna make this line here disappear. Just slowly work this back. Get it to go with this curve here. Make it so we get a little bit of bite, because this thing ain't biting on nothing. Yeah, let me think here. What are we gonna talk about? Well, we moved out here probably about a year ago to a much more rural area, if that's what you want to call it. Got about 2 acres of land. A nice little slice of heaven. But I grew up in the city my whole life. Small city, but a city nonetheless. Very busy, a lot of emotions, a lot of people, a lot of opinions. Definitely happy to be getting away from that. A lot more quiet out here. And you know, that took some getting used to as well. When you're used to hearing sirens, and I don't want to make my city sound too bad, but yeah, some gunshots here and there, and people screaming, and even just kids playing and shouting and music, and all that's fine. You get used to it, but coming out here to where it's silent, you start to hear every little thing. Birds, the water. We got a creek right in our front yard, I guess you would call it. Love going out there and hearing the water sometimes, but boy, every little sound you start to really focus in on, that's for sure. Took some getting used to. But definitely happy to be where we're at now. Plenty more working with my hands. I've always worked with my hands, done things, built things. But in the last year, it has, I would say, taken itself to another level, for sure. And most of that is out of necessity. Just not wanting to spend money on things and trying to learn, trying to use my hands more, trying to get stronger, get more in touch with the earth, I guess you could call it. Not to try and sound too hippie-ish, but you know what? There's nothing wrong with wanting to be in touch with this rock we're walking on here. I think if more people were, we might be in better shape. Slowly going at her here. Keep on working at that edge. Now we're staying nice and flat. We don't want to create another ridge here, and we obviously don't want to start going inward like this. We just want to get that nice profile there. We're just gonna keep on working at this. Now, this is not fast work by any means, and there are faster options. 100%. I could get the grinder out. I could start really going in on this thing, doing some damage. But you know what? Why bother, man? It's late. I don't want to start up the air compressor. Why not? Take our time with it. Labor of love. Really be proud of this thing when we're done with it. Know that we used our hands. Know that we took our time. Made it our own. I've always been resistant to making a YouTube channel. I did music for a couple years there. As funny as it is to say, I was a rapper. I did enjoy that, and I enjoyed making videos and stuff. But as time went on, I became a much more private person. Just wanted to do my own thing and kind of disappear. And to be honest, I am definitely still feeling that way. But you know what? I got all this camera equipment, got all this time on my hands. My job here for about 10 years now. Me and my buddy from high school, we've owned our own wedding entertainment company, I guess you could call it. I've never really, over 10 years, never figured out how to classify it. The quickest way to say it, you know. We DJ, do photography, video. So I already had the camera equipment, you know. It'd really be a shame to not use it, but the idea of setting up a camera and putting on a microphone and making sure everything's recording while I'm trying to get some other work done, I don't know about that, but we shall see. We'll see how this goes. We are seeing the metal shavings come off of there. We're seeing our ridge disappear here as we go. Now because of our cross wedge here, you got a nice thick piece of material here in the middle. Little more to work through here. That's why you can see it's kind of ridging up here. It's definitely thicker on the top than it is on the bottom as well. But I tell you what, even just from doing that other side, we're getting a nice edge here. So when that meets up, I think we're going to be in business. Definitely in better shape than we were before. This thing was not doing much of anything. Just kind of bounce right off everything. There was no bite. All right, give it some edge here. Give it some bite. Like I said, I am new to all this, so I know we want to keep some width here. I know we definitely want to keep some width to get that splitting action going there. I tell you what, 8 pounds, maybe it's not a lot for everybody. I'm not the biggest guy ever, but 8 pounds is a lot to be swinging, to have it doing a whole lot of nothing, you know what I'm saying? After about 3 or 4 swings, you're kind of looking at yourself, looking at the axe. You're wondering, what is happening? Is this even worth it? Should I move back to the city? I'm no lumberjack. You take it down to the shop, you get the metal file out, get to work, and I tell you what, when we take this thing out tomorrow, give it a few swings, I'd be willing to bet we are in much better shape, much better working condition than we were before. Clean that guy out a little bit there. Just recommend a bigger brush. They make brushes specifically for this thing. I can't remember what it's called, but there are better options out there. I didn't want to spend the money, so here we are with this. Been out there chopping apple trees all week. Not the biggest trees. The apples, unfortunately, weren't producing some good apples on there. Coming out black, had black spots all on there. We want to make some room for some garden beds, so that is the plan. Do what we can about the stumps. Chop them down nice and low. Shouldn't have to remove them, I don't think. Possibly putting a greenhouse out there. At the very least, some raised beds. A few PVC options. I've been seeing people getting real creative with the PVC in gardening. I'm gonna have to start remembering names if I'm gonna be doing this so I can give people shout outs properly. If you know who I'm talking about, feel free to tag them, but it's a guy on TikTok or YouTube. He had vertical, maybe 4-inch PVC, probably even 5-6 inch. It's pretty big, but he had nice big holes cut in the side all the way along up it, different spots, and had lettuce coming out of all the different holes. I thought that was such a cool idea. And you could pretty much try with most things, growing it that way. I saw he had a few of them in his yard, so I'm definitely thinking about trying that. As of yesterday, I just put some potatoes in a 5-gallon bucket, 1.5 PVC going down the middle, a few 1/4-inch holes ran in the PVC for a watering system going down the center. Something my lady found online. Did one. It's still a little cold out here in Pennsylvania. March 10th. Still a little cold out to be putting things in the ground, I guess. We're setting them outside. We just had snow today. It was 70 degrees maybe a month ago, and now we're snowing again, so weather's cool. Definitely makes it easy to plan things. We're gonna be outside a lot this year, that's for sure. We're gonna be planting, we're gonna be building. Want to get into some woodworking here. I've always loved building. Now that I got the space and some tools for it, we're gonna make some things happen. Got a lot of plans. A lot of plans and a lot of work. So hey, I'll take you guys along for the ride. Definitely gonna take all the advice I can get. I am no expert on any of this. Master of none, as they say. Jack of all trades, master of none. Now look at that edge, just getting smaller and smaller there. We are doing some good work here. A lot of things interesting me at the moment. Woodworking, building furniture. And again, a lot of this is just coming out of necessity, man. We moved into this house. It needed a lot of work. We knew that coming in. Unfortunately, I had to, my lady had to go stay with her mom for a little bit with my son while I made us a livable space here. I stayed on a couch for a month. That was in the workshop here. Yep, right where we are now. Just a little couch in the corner. Went to bed at night, woke up, got right to work, trying to build us a nice little space to stay in. It's respectable now. Still got some work to do to finish it all up. Trim some things out. I got to do the ceiling in the kitchen. I just got some flexible HVAC piping for that to try and help out with that, and I will definitely be showing you guys what I mean when we get to that point. Now I apologize, we did stop recording here. The camera reached its recording limit apparently. Love that about these Sony cameras. We have made some very, very good progress here. As you can see, our edges just about disappear. We got some work to do down here yet, but boy, that's almost gone, and we are getting sharp. Just keep on working that, working it down, and we are not, remember, we're not going down here with it. We're not trying to make a curve here. We're trying to flatten out this profile here, get this ridge to come back. So I want to just keep it nice and flat. Just want to very organically, very slowly walk this ridge right up to the edge there. Nice, deliberate strokes, making sure they all count. Don't want to wear our fingers out any more than we have to. All right, sorry about that, guys. Didn't want to keep switching angles on you here, but need a little more room to work. Get in here. You guys ever doing something and realize you had your tongue sticking out? You were thankful the camera couldn't see your face, so it didn't matter anyway. It's got a little bit there we gotta take care of. These corners are just very, very rounded, so we're really working a lot of this meat on out of here. Trying to get it to not be so rounded. Trying to get it to come to a point. Good news is we have plenty of metal to work with here. No shortage of metal, so we're definitely not going to go too far. Take your time with it. Get better clamps for sure. Definitely get better clamps. Which I even have better clamps out in the garage. Being lazy here. Just trying to do a quick dirty setup here. Show you guys you can do it at home. Nothing fancy. And I mean, really, I'm not showing you guys much of anything. There's plenty of these videos on YouTube. I just thought I'd take you along on this little hour-long shaving journey I'm doing. Probably 2 hours. As you can see, we have just about met up with all those edges here. Still a little fat here. Not the most symmetrical axis for sure. Maybe it's just this one I got. Maybe that's why I was on clearance. I would say 20 bucks. You're gonna hear me say this a lot, I guess. 20 bucks, really, get you started. Get a nice thick piece of metal on a stick with a point. Well, I guess not even really a point until you do something about it. Oh yeah, getting a nice sharp edge there. Getting some metal chunks in our finger. That's good. A little more work to our top edge here. But man, we are looking good. I'm very happy with this. Now, I got a couple different methods I'm gonna try here. The old air angle grinder over here with some cookies. When I say cookies, these are what I'm talking about here. These little grinding discs. I think we're gonna try that at one point. I got an old axe head I found. Maybe I'll bust those out and try and get some of the rust off of there. It's got a really nice profile on that one. The one that I found, it's a single bit, really old, really rusty. Needs some loving, needs a handle. That's gonna be a full project there, but boy, I'm excited to do that one. Just got to get a few things. I want to find the right piece of wood for the handle. I'd like to shape my own handle, so I'm gonna need a couple of tools to make that happen, but need a nice chunk of hard wood. I'd like to find some ash or some red oak. I got plenty of oak laying around the property actually, plenty of oak, but not sure if it's red or white. Still learning about all my lumber. Don't know too much about all that yet. All I used to know was, hey, buy some 2x4s from Home Depot, throw some screws in it, you got a table. You know what I'm saying? Frame up a wall, cover it up with drywall, that kind of stuff. I tell you what, guys, that is pretty good. Tell you what, I'm not loving about this axe, and maybe it's just my OCD, maybe it won't matter too much in practice. I don't know if I can really describe it the right way. Or most of the meat anyway, or thickness of it is pointed this way, and the bottom is kind of pointed this way. So it's like a little twisted, it seems. And maybe, again, maybe it's just my OCD. Maybe it won't matter too much in practice, but I'm not a fan of that. I'd like to try and do something about that a little bit. Maybe get a little more. I can see it. I'm sure you guys can see it. And like I don't think I spent too much more time over here. Maybe this is user error, but it's much more of a ridge still here. So definitely got to work that out a little bit here, which no problem, we'll get that done. Yeah, I will say it's probably user error. As you can see, I went much further back over here than I did on the top over here, but I prefer it like that. So you know what? I'm happy I did that. I'm happy we'll be changing the other side to look like this. So, guys, what do we think here? I'm thinking we are looking pretty good. Much better than before, at least. Not very pretty. As I said, it's very thick right here in the middle, so it's hard to get this to meet up. If I wanted to bust out the old angle grinder, I could definitely get a little more work done on there. But, hey, that's not the point of this. The point of this is to show what we can do with the old hand file, little elbow grease. I think this was maybe 20 bucks. Like I said, it's the Crescent Nicholson 10-inch metal file. And if you were going to spend money anywhere on any of this, I would probably say the metal file or maybe an axe that you don't got to file down. But metal file, spend a little money on it. You're gonna be putting in the most work with this thing. You want your strikes to really count for something, because your thumbs are not gonna be happy with you later. So, get it done quick and easy. I was gonna bust out the whetstones and get a really good edge on here, but again, I think that kind of defeats the purpose of just seeing what we can do with the old metal file. So, if you guys liked the video, please consider giving me a thumbs up. I got a lot more work to do, like I said, around this place. So plenty more videos coming. If you'd like to see what happens, hit the subscribe button. But yeah, tomorrow we will take this thing out. It's 12 a.m. now, so I'm not gonna do it right now, but tomorrow we'll take this thing out, hit a few logs with it, see what happens. See if the old 8-pound Hyper Tough is living up to anything, because we don't have many expectations at the moment. I'm expecting it to be better than last time, at least. Before it was just bouncing off of things. Hopefully now we'll get a nice bite and split some things with it. But yeah, thanks again, guys. We'll end this video with some shots of me splitting some things. So, have a good one, guys. Take care. got a real full-size log here. Might even be bigger than the stump I'm using to chop these things, but it's a real test. Let me see, I even see a nice little split, so we might use that to try and help us out here. All right, guys, I am sorry for the heavy breathing. This thing was no joke getting it down off the hill. Here we go. Oh yeah, there we go. Oh yeah. There we go. Let's see. Captain America, ready? I couldn't even do that. Captain America. Jesus. Could I make myself look any more weak with the 8-pound maul and trying to rip apart an already torn in half log? Captain America. Superhero training, baby. I'll get there, don't you worry. We're gonna get there. All right, let's see what we can do here. I got it down in half. Boy, this thing is still no joke, even in half. All right, let's see. Oh yeah, there we go. What do you think, guys? One more? One more? All right. For you guys, I will. Oh. Woo! Arms are getting a little winded at this point, but you know what? Here we go. Ready? We got this. Boom! All right. What do we think here, guys? We have definitely put this thing to the test a bit here. I am seeing very minor dings, but you know what? I didn't even take the whetstone of this thing. So it's hard to say if that's just cross hatching or a little bit of dinging. Either way, that last log was no joke. That was a big boy. Held up well. I'm out of breath. It held up well. I will definitely be using this thing. I think the weight helped out a lot. I think the cross wedge here helped out a lot so far. Not bad, Walmart, not bad. The gloves help. I don't know about this handle, but not bad. We'll leave it there. Not bad, Walmart. Go pick you one up. Get your first axe. Maybe get something a little lighter if you're a small guy like me. But maybe not though, because that big log, who knows? Who knows how hard that would have been with maybe a 4-pounder or something. Either way, I'm rambling now. Good job, Walmart. Good job, me. Good job, you guys. Let's do it again sometime. Whew. Did I really just throw up a peace sign? What the hell's wrong with me?